King of the Hammers has consistently just been one of the most difficult off-road races in the world. When you see the course and you see even the desert course combined with the rock course, there's so many different things going on there, and then just the overall difficulty of it. So being able to go to Hammers and race at Hammers and race successfully at Hammers is a really high bar to set and a really difficult challenge to take on.
It's been amazing seeing Ford's progression of support. I think this is just the beginning of what we're to see with Ford's expansion into other motorsports.
Ford has had the guts to come in here and say, let's go give it a shot. Let's try, let's do it. And we've knocked it out of the park.
The competition all year long between, myself, Vaughn, Brad, Bailey, and the 3 Broncos was really, really fun.
The way we went out at Hammers, I knew that the platform was really good and I knew the 3 of us were going to be really good drivers throughout the year, but I don't think anybody really expected us to be as good as we did.
What's up, everybody? I am Loren Healy.
My name is Brian Novak. I'm the off-road motorsports supervisor for Ford Performance.
I'm Brad Lovell. We're here in my shop.
Hey, I'm Bailey Cole. I race in the King of the Hammer series.
And race Ultra4, so been doing that for about 15, 20 years now.
And behind me is the Ford Bronco. It competes in the 4600 class.
I race a Ford Performance 4600 Bronco. Looking forward to 2023 King of the Hammers.
Yeah, so when we got the call to be one of the 3 teams to race Broncos at King of the Hammers, this is one of those pinch me moments. Everybody dreams of being parts of factory efforts, and obviously I've been a Ford driver for a very long time, going on 15 years. But these factory efforts that not only are an honor to be a part of, but they effectively are writing history for that brand.
Picking the teams and the drivers and who you're going to run with is always something that takes a little bit of time. You want to make sure you're with the right people that are always looking to win. They're not there just for a show. They're looking to win the race.
What an honor it has been for our team to not only race this 4600 Bronco at King of the Hammers, but help develop it from the start. It was quite the process through testing, making mistakes, fixing it, trying new things. It's been a huge honor for our team to be involved in the whole development process of this 4600 Bronco.
It was really crazy how it all worked out. I honestly don't even know how many dominoes had to fall into the right place, but somehow they ended up calling me to race one of the new Broncos, and it was a dream come true. I literally woke up that morning stoked.
It was such a huge honor for Funhaber and Vaughn and I to be selected as one of the teams to represent Bronco. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that type of commitment, and we knew that the expectation was going to be to go out and win, and that's a lot of pressure that comes with that. But it also really speaks a huge volume to the team that we've created and why we were one of the teams that were selected to represent Bronco in the 4600 stock class.
Well, it has been hugely exciting to see Ford not only bring back the Bronco, but want to race the Bronco. That's where the pedigree of Bronco comes from motorsports competition, racing down in Baja, and now racing at King of the Hammers.
I thought it was a very ambitious effort. King of the Hammers is arguably the most challenging off-road race in the world. So to just build a new truck, before it's even really out for production, build a race truck with the goal of winning Hammers in a short time frame, it was a big ask.
And then when they told us they were going to bring it and race the new Ford Bronco at King of the Hammers, it was so inspiring and exciting to have an OEM to come in, get involved, and want to bring Bronco out to King of the Hammers to race Ultra4 racing and to showcase the capabilities of that vehicle. I knew they were serious about the Bronco being awesome from that point.
We learned an awful lot testing, and we were not going to race this vehicle until it was fully refined and tested. And that was a pretty painful process.
There were a lot of setbacks building the vehicles because this was in the middle of a pandemic everything slowed down. It was extremely tough. A lot of dates kept getting pushed for builds and testing and this and that.
You know, you're always going to run into challenges. So we had originally planned when this program started coming together to race these Broncos at the King of the Hammers the year before we actually raced them.
So we took a whole nother year. We tested and tested and tested. We did 2 Ultra4 races during the season, and then built 2 more trucks based on everything we learned off of that.
The big thing is always, did we make sure everything was good on the car? And that was tenfold, because not only was it my team looking at it, but I'm also racing against Funhaver guys and Brad Lovell, both heroes in the sport, looking at everything. And then even on top of that, we have Ford Performance and the entire team looking down. And it's like, man, I really hope we did everything right.
The goal was to go out, not break the truck, because if you break the truck, you're not finishing. And when you don't finish, you know, we know what happens then. So
Ford has a very high expectation before you enter a race. So our first race was in San Felipe, Mexico. And we came right out of the box and we won qualifying and we won that race. And that set the stage for what is now 9 races that these Broncos have been entered in and 9 wins.
So the biggest thing I learned throughout the year is really how hard I could push the vehicle. I know going into Hammers, I don't want to say timid, but I was definitely pedaling for all the big holes and that kind of stuff.
we had so much fun driving them. And they're so different than our 4400 trucks. It's like another level of driving. Like the 4400 trucks is just like, hold on and go. And you know, they can eat anything. Whereas the 4600 truck is a lot more precision because it doesn't have 42-inch tires. It's a stock truck with portals and some safety stuff, you know?
So going into Hammers, it was pretty stressful. I had about 25 miles of seat time in the Bronco before the start line. And that includes qualifying. So there was not a lot of test and tune time for me personally in the driver's seat.
But we really didn't get much time in the race trucks until, you know, relatively just before Hammers. We did a couple tests and shakedowns, and that was it.
The first time I drove the 4600 Bronco, I knew it was gonna straight dominate Ultra4, and the rest of the 4600 teams were gonna have to step up their game.
It's no surprise to me at all that these Broncos came right out of the box and dominated. And why? Because people haven't seen the testing, the amount of time and the work that our team, the other teams racing, and Ford Performance have put behind this vehicle.
It's not surprising to one end, given the amount of people we've had working on it and the talent level of the people we've had at Ford Performance and at the race teams we were working with. So I don't think it's surprising from that end, but also from the other end that the people we're racing against, they're not strokes. They are out there to win every single race that they're there, and they've been racing that series for years.
Year one coming out with these things, winning King of the Hammers, winning every single race that the Broncos entered, just dominated the 4600 class. I mean, it effectively became, how many Broncos are there? Okay, there's 3. Well, everyone else is racing for 4th place.
We didn't have a DNF. That's not just like a great platform and great drivers. It's not really doable in this sport because there's so much that can go up and down and wrong. And we just made it happen. So I think that's truly a testament to the team and all the hard work that got put into it.
All of the teams and Ford Performance put their heads together to develop the best vehicle possible within the rule book. It was a pretty legit process, but if there was any chance in dropping trucks off at Hammers and expecting to win, it all had to be done this way.
Ford went out and put together the absolute best vehicle they could, put the best fabricators on it they could, and picked world-class, you know, top-tier Ultra4 drivers to make sure that those vehicles did what was expected, and anything else would have been a failure. So for us to go out, meet all the expectations, you know, continue to kill it, it's proof that if you put in the work, you do all the little detailed stuff, you can get there and meet a huge goal like that. The competition all year long between, you know, myself, Vaughn, Brad, Bailey, and the 3 Broncos was it was really, really fun.
I've never really been part of a team before that has multiple drivers. And I'll tell you, we're all buddies. We can all work together. But at the end of the day, we're racers. And we all want to win. And it starts with qualifying, you know?
Brad and I have a very rich history of going back and forth. So this year really magnified that a lot. And the Broncos, there wasn't a dominant driver all year. You know, we won King of the Hammers, Vaughn and I did. And then, you know, straight out of the gate, then Brad won a couple races, and then Bailey won a couple races, and then we were back in the mix. So it made this crazy championship battle.
It's certainly been very competitive with the other drivers on this team. It's been a ton of fun. We've all won races. We've all lost races.
We had so much fun with it, we decided to just continue racing it the entire year. Like, our job was done, but we wanted to keep going. And so I raced the truck the rest of the year, chasing the championship. Had a ton of fun doing it, like epic battles with Brad and Bailey. We always, every race, like, said we weren't gonna be wrecking each other. And then once push came to shove, you know, we're bouncing off each other, but we never did wreck each other.
The kind of cool thing with Ford was, you know, we were a team. You know, we had plans at King of the Hammers that if we could help each other winch up an obstacle, or we could give somebody communication to help them get through the race better. It was always a team effort, but the battle between the drivers, you know, it got pretty serious.
Every once in a while it'd get annoying because, like, going around Crandon in turn 1, I set it up inside and then Brad comes in underneath me and carries more speed, and I'm like, man, I'm in the same car. How are you doing that? There's no way.
I look forward to banging doors with these guys again this year. I've seen Bailey and Vaughn banging doors and locking tires, and holy cow, you know? So I can't imagine what it's like to be in the shoes of Ford, of people who are directing this team, and see it. But boy, we've done a great job of keeping it clean and having some great battles.
We never wanted to try to take each other out or do anything like that, but it was intense. I mean, and it still will be for the years to come. Like, each and every one of us, we don't want to come in second. We're trying to win at all costs.
There has been a bit of resentment amongst other drivers because here comes Ford, the 900-pound gorilla, into the stock class, right? But there's nothing saying that the stock class is an amateur class. It's a pro class. And that said, I've been there. I've been where they're at. I've dealt with it in other classes. And, you know, I got a bit of sympathy for it.
So from my perspective, any of the true racers, they saw Ford and us coming in to race the 4600 class as a challenge. They want to get better. They want to get faster. They want to make their vehicles better.
So there was definitely some resentment on the side of people watching the 4600 class. The weird part was a lot of the times you'd go and talk to the actual racers that you're racing against in the class, and they were super excited because they were getting these bigger brands and they were getting this publicity from the Broncos, because that did elevate the class. Some of the people online, there was a few keyboard warriors that were talking about how we ruined the class and messed everything up, but people are always going to hate the new kid on the block, and we just went out there and kept doing what we were doing.
We want to attract OEMs. We want this to be the place where, you know, suspension manufacturers, vehicle manufacturers, they come and showcase their bolt-on parts into these vehicles to come try to conquer King of the Hammers. This is a pro class. This was the exact ideal situation. And, you know, Ford did their homework. They came and asked. They're like, hey, where's going to be the place for us to come race Bronco? We want to be involved. And Dave Cole told them, absolutely, the stock class, the 4600. This is where you guys should be racing. This was the vision for this class.
I think that entire class is extremely motivated and partially upset, and they want to come and get what, you know, they believe to be theirs. And so everyone's going to be working harder than they did last year, and that includes us, because we want to come out and achieve the same goal.
So it took proving what we're trying to do. It took a lot of perseverance, but you know what? These Broncos are undefeated, so it really paid off in the end. I don't see how other OEMs couldn't look at the Bronco platform, at the high-speed fun and excitement, at how fast it is in the desert, how capable it is in the rocks, and not want to go after that. So I hear rumors here and there about other manufacturers getting involved or looking at it. And you know what? We'll see. I think when they do, they better have their lunch packed because it's going to be a tough battle. But I welcome it. I'd love to see it, and I think that would drive what we're doing at Ford even further.
Yeah, we'd absolutely love to see more OEMs compete at King of the Hammers. I mean, that's ultimately what we want. We don't want to race against ourselves. We want to race against the best. We think we do race against some of the best competitors on the planet right now at King of the Hammers. But we do hope that you know, maybe that kicks some other people off to put their hat in the ring. And absolutely, we'd love to race them.
You know, some would say that we've proved our point. Why even go back? But that's not how we roll. It's not how Ford Performance rolls. And you know, we're going to be back 2023 to hopefully, you know, achieve the same result at Hammers. I think we definitely elevated the class. We definitely, you know, there's a lot of people in that class that their mindset is, okay, challenge accepted. There's a couple people that are bringing new Broncos out. And I think that it's going to be a serious year.
Let's go racing. Let's see what we can do. Let's develop products that we love. To go do King of the Hammers, to go do rock trails in Colorado, to drive across the desert to Arizona. That's what I love. That's what I'm here for. Let's drive innovation. Let's make this as cool as we can make it.
Leading into 2023, like I feel like the game plan will be the same. It will be a huge team effort. You know, we all mount up, head to King of the Hammers together. We've all been prepping our own trucks, you know, making them completely fresh, and the goal's the same. We want to go dominate KOH. We want to go 1, 2, 3, and you know that success. It's the same thing. Like failure's not an option. Bronco's going to go win the 4600 class again, and you know I don't think anything changes from 2022. That's exactly our plan, and we're headed to go there.